Hello, my name is Katie Miller, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the idea of genetic engineering, the technology consequence. And you asked us what some expected impacts and unexpected consequences that would be associated with genetic engineering. I'm going to expand my thoughts on that in this presentation. First off, just some background about genetic engineering. It alters genetic makeup of an organism using techniques that introduce heritable material prepared outside the organism, either directly into the host or into a cell that is then fused or hybridized with the host. The idea all started in 1972 when a guy named Paul Berg created the first DNA molecules by combining DNA from the monkey virus SV40 with the Lambda virus. And there's also many types of genetic engineering. The whole idea is very, very, very complex. Some of the examples of the types are isolating the gene, constructs, gene targeting, transformation, selection, regeneration, and conformation. To expand on the expected impacts, some things would happen that would scientists believe to be positive coming from the outcome of this technology. Consequences. Some of them would be creating cures for different diseases, eliminating birth defects by being able to alter the genetic makeup before the baby was born, and genetically modified plants, animals for food. Being able to produce more animals would obviously be able to produce more meat faster and more fruit by genetically modifying plants, and with faster and easier food comes more abundance, and which would essentially lead to less world hunger, which would be definitely a positive impact. It also might allow creation for better tasting, healthier foods. Now, this would be a huge advance in technology if we could essentially make healthier foods taste better. Then more people would be healthier, and then make the unhealthy foods taste bad, which is what everyone secretly wishes would happen anyway. Also, kind of going along with cures for diseases, might be able to cure cancer, which would be a huge, huge advance. Although there's researchers hope for all these improvements that would come with genetic engineering, there's also some negative outcomes and unexpected consequences that might come along with genetic engineering. It may cause an imbalance of the ecology of a region, and I mean, if there's too much of one animal, it's gonna eventually mess up with the food chain and mess things up in nature. And an accident may cause several problems. For example, if you're trying to fight a virus and you actually made a stronger virus from the genetic engineering, it might cause an epidemic, which, for example, all those movies we watch, which is one of America's biggest fears, an epidemic that just wipes out all of America or all of the world, which may come from genetic engineering if a big mistake happens. And accidents in human genetic engineering could cause medical problems or even worse, death. Just messing with the genetic makeup allows for a lot of error. And then what a lot of researchers are questioning is, once the gene is placed in the organism, could it be reversed? Now, this is bad because if they placed the gene in an organism and, for instance, made a mistake, they would want to reverse it. But the question is, would that be possible? And you would have to live with the fact that if you never messed with that gene, they could have been perfectly normal, just not perfect per se. And then what others, people against genetic engineering, think that it's playing God or trying to program human beings. And this idea derives that once genetic engineering is used in society, we will not be able to turn it off or put it back. Or in other words, remove it. Once it becomes reality, it will always be with us. And I mean, it's just like once computers or the internet came out, we cannot live without it. And I mean, the more genetic engineering, the more successful it will get. It might eventually lead to utopian society, in my thought. I kind of expanded on this in discussion 8, and I think a utopian society kind of messes with the theory of evolution that only the fittest survive. Utopian society kind of allows humanity to almost reverse evolution by allowing even the weak to mate. And with a utopian society, everyone's the same. So when everyone's the same, everyone's bored. And with boredom would eventually lead to violence and a lot of crime. And I believe that genetic engineering would definitely, if researchers, all their hopes, fixing skin problems, fixing wrinkles, making a pill to make everyone fit, or making foods taste healthy, all those positive things, everyone would be the same because they would all be able to genetic engineer themselves to look perfect. And a utopian society definitely isn't necessarily an ideal society for me, in my opinion. And I believe that for alternatives in technology, I think researchers should leave genetic engineering alone for humans, I think. Unless it's for diseases, I think that's a very good cause, and also for plants. I think it's a very good cause because it could end world hunger. But then comes the idea that too many people would be on the earth, and then it would be way too overcrowded already, over the amount of overcrowdedness we are in some areas of the universe. And I think that we should just allow for other technologies in society to drive and use those to kind of improve our society instead of leaning towards making the perfect society or the perfect person by playing, as people say, is playing God, or trying to program human beings. And that is my presentation on my technology consequence of genetic engineering.